So we have the release of 8, another one of our Type 0 cast, along with King's EX debut and Level 70 Awakening and rework. We're just going to cut right to the chase with just about everything in this video, because I realize that they've gotten absurdly long. But following the release of more of our Type 0 characters, and many more to come, considering that JP just announced another one. I have nothing against the series personally myself. I think it's filled with a bunch of great characters, but I think it's time that we give some other series in the franchise some love square. You know, Final Fantasy III is known for being Final Fantasy III for only the 3 characters it has that you've added to the game. Come on. Anyway, so let's go and jump right into it. We're going to start off with 8. So 8's big thing is high speed melee DPS. He has high damage outputs, and gets 3 frame buffs. He gets from each and every one of his skills. His first skill just raises his stats accordingly. His second skill will raise his stats again, but it will also raise the amount of HP damage that he takes. So make sure you're careful. When both of those frame buffs are active, his HP attack plus will turn into light speed jab, and his brave attack plus will turn into its brave attack plus form. I forget the name of it. When you use your brave attack plus and you break or attack a broken target, light speed jab will turn into light speed jab plus, which will do pretty much the same thing. Excuse me. Will do pretty much the same thing, but will actually have no action delay and not affect the turn count, which is pretty nice. I like that a lot because it promotes safe play with 8. If you feel that you're in a bad situation, and his EX frame buff at the counter is about to go away, you can use the brave attack plus to keep him alive, and then basically use the HP attack plus or light speed jab plus to make him go again, so he's not wasting any turns. I like that a lot. It does promote the safe play, helps him a ton. His EX, all passives, all EX plus considered, I believe is an 8 or 9 hit single target DPS that applies the Phantom Rush frame buff, which gives him a 100% evasion rate. And if the attack that is targeting him does miss, or that is attacking him, I should say, does miss, he will dodge and afflict an 8-hit single target HP attack counter. That helps out a ton with Brave Shaving and Control, pretty much. It allows the opponent to regain their Brave and just immediately get rebroken if they're in range to do so. The potency is kind of low on the counter, but considering it's 8 hits, there's a strong possibility that 8's going to break them in the first place, unless you're like his boss, who gets still like 50-something thousand Brave. It's insane. His C65 will recover 2 usages, not recover 2 usages, it will extend his buffs by 2 turns, which kind of sucks, because it's like you have to expend a turn, which will waste a turn for the buffs, to extend them in the first place, and then you go again using another turn. You basically only get 1 extra turn out of them, but that's alright, it still helps out a ton. That's pretty much it for 8's kit. So how is 8 for the Chaos Era? Is he important? I would say really the only biggest con about 8 is the fact that he doesn't have that lock on. 8 fulfills the role of a DPS fairly well, and with the addition of a counter with an evasion built in, it helps him out a lot, because, you know, he's not getting hit even though his HP damage has been increased due to his second frame buff Last Stand. And he's also one of the more efficient control units that has come out in recent times. But the sole fact that he doesn't have the lock on makes the counter is actually unreliable unless you bring him up against a boss that is doing a lot of AoE hits. If it's just a single target boss, you have to really hope and rely on RNG, that the boss will target him so you can get off his counter and all that good stuff. So his counter is unreliable unless you bring him against a specific type of boss. So make sure you're picking and choosing which situation would be best to bring him. And it also does kind of suck that we're going to be getting like the most supreme character ever to ever exist, literally in the next day, literally by tomorrow, Zach Fair, who makes them lock on to him. So it's not like you're going to run them alongside of each other, because why wouldn't you not run Zach? Look, I'm letting out all the bias now. Like, I gotta get it all out before this video. But yeah, honest to God, if he had the lock-on built into his kit, I would definitely say that 8 is important for the Chaos Era. But I'm going to go ahead and give him an almost important for the Chaos Era. He will fulfill the role of a DPS perfectly fine, but the fact that the counter is kind of unreliable because you have to rely on RNG kind of just hinders how good it is in the first place. This does get remedied when he gets an LD in the future, so 8 players look forward to that. He is still a fantastic build, and like I said, will fulfill his role just fine. He does a lot of damage, but because of not having the lock, he falls more so into the Golbez and Sephiroth category, where he's just kind of a selfish DPS unit. Kind of a dime a dozen. I'm saying kind of because, he has the counter, the unreliable counter, I should say. But definitely 3 out of 3 him if you do choose to build him up. He definitely needs all the damage that he can get. So go ahead and do so if you are choosing to build him up. And it's not going to be a terrible choice. 8 is very much usable and very much an enjoyable character. If it wasn't for Arania coming literally next week, I may have pulled for him myself. But we gotta wait. Let's go ahead and jump into King. There we go, I missed the clip. So King actually got one of the most impressive reworks of recent times. King now has four usages of his reload, which will reload 10 usages of his first skill, Rapid Bullets. With all EX Plus considered, he'll start off the quest with Trigger Happy, so you can just immediately start out the gate just shooting off them bullets. He doesn't get an HP attack plus because he doesn't need it, because he essentially has 40 plus skill usages. That's insane. His C65 is actually a bravery recharge based off of 100% of his attack. That can get recharged from his second skill, Reload. You can recharge the C65 with his Reload. Reload. Sorry, that reminded me of something. His EX Endless Waltz, all passives considered, all EX plus considered, is a 5-hit single target HP attack that is executed twice that follows up with a 10-hit single target HP attack. It does a lot of damage and helps out a ton. The rest of it's just kind of potency increases, more damage. He gets to start out the quest with Trigger Happy, like I mentioned before, and so on like that. And he gets access to a new frame buff, I believe is called Endless Waltz, that will actually give him the Eject and Lightning effect, where when he breaks a target, he will go again, which is really cool. It helps him out a lot. And considering that he is the king of longevity, he's not really going to be wasting turns because he's going to have plenty of skills to spare. His cons, though, however, is the fact that I did forget to mention that Reload does do HP damage, followed by a 2-hit single target HP attack. His cons, though, however, are the fact that the potencies are just a teeny bit low on Rapid Bullets, and considering that they're only 4 hits now, you just gotta kind of be careful, because you might see his damage dwindle off a bit, especially as you get towards the end of the fight where the defenses are starting to spike. Definitely make sure that you're bringing along proper characters to keep his attack up and everything. Drop the defense, whatever you have to do to make sure this dude is hitting 9s. You want to make sure he's hitting the 9s at all time, because that's where his damage is going to be soaring. So that's pretty much it on King. How is King for the Chaos Era? What does this rework bring him? This rework makes him literally the king of longevity. It's not a joke anymore. He 40 plus skill usages plus a recharging C65. Like, come on, that's incredible. And his EX is actually a normal charge EX, so you'll be using it relatively often. Like, King's damage is just so it is consistent and inconsistent at the same time, because you need to make sure that you're buffing him up as best as you possibly can, so his damage doesn't fall off. Excuse me. That being said, is King important for the Chaos Era? Honestly, no. And I don't think he really gets an almost like 8. Mostly just because he then again falls into the Golbez and Sephiroth category, where you have to beef him up and make sure he's doing all the damage, but he's not really supplying anything to the party. Sure, I guess it's somewhat control to try and dwindle the boss if he gets a break and whatnot, but most of the time it's not really all that useful, especially since he doesn't have delays or anything built in there like lightning does, and whatnot. But what he does bring to the table is a lot of damage and a lot of inconsistent damage that can continue going. You just gotta beef him up. But unlike 8, where he actually has something that can help with the control of the team, King, I don't know. I can't really find myself saying that it's kind of useful in more situations than what 8 has, or what Lightning has compared to. I can't say Jet, because Jet has the exact same thing. At least Lightning has delay, a 1 or 2 turn delay with her EX, and she can still get that. So it's like, I don't know. It's strange. It is a strange thing, but I can't really find myself saying that is definitely important. But King, unfortunately, is not important. The Chaos Era, a great character to build and grab, absolutely. He is 100% fantastic by any stretch of the word. It's just, we're going to be getting more characters to kind of just put him down, put him in his place in the first place. So yeah, that'll pretty much do it on King. If you do choose to build up King, definitely 3 out of 3 the man. He is definitely worth the 3 out of 3. Increases his damage, gets him going, and whatnot. And like I said, you want to make sure he's as consistent as possible, so the more damage, the better. But yeah, that'll pretty much do it for this one. Yeah, look forward to the release of the best character possible. Coming out tomorrow. I can't wait. It's going to be great. But let's rerun the verdict. 8 isn't almost important for the Chaos Era, while King isn't not important. 3 out of 3, the both of them, since they are DPS units. You want to make sure you're capitalizing on the amount of DPS that they can do. And that'll pretty much wrap it up for this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.